Hello and welcome. It's me, Mars44. Welcome back to another Cardfight Vanguard, Cardfight Area deck profile. Today's deck profile we have the what's her face? Prism that always promises everything. PRISM-Promise Labrador. So with the release of the Academy of was it? I don't know. With the release of Academy of Divas, some new support has come out for Bermudas, and it's not just like support for a Stride deck. There's some Prism support and some Duo support as well. Yeah, really fun deck as always. Prism being that very aggressive style of Bermudas. So really good deck and very, very strong. I wish I got to do this before Stride, but it's one of those deck profiles that I'm like, okay, I better hop on it now because it'll probably just get better and better. Anyways, let's jump right in. So our starter is first lesson Akari. Yeah, you know what she does. She gets in harmony, you know, put a soul, draw a card. So basically, there's Koro. Koro is not a great starter for this deck. She's just not that good. I know some people play her because she's a prism and everything, but normally the best thing to actually play is Weddle because it helps with some of your setups as well to just get some setups, return cards to hand, and activate some skills and everything. But because of the fact that here, she's a better choice because she's the same thing, but the difference is you get to draw a card. Of course, she has to be in harmony, but that's easy because once you stride, her harmony activates, and then she has her Generation Break 1, and you can just use it then. So pretty much when you stride, you can go off with her skill and basically use the better Weddle skill. I mean, you can play Weddle if you like, but this is definitely the better decision because she gives you a plus along with doing what Weddle does. You do have to wait a little bit longer, but of course, there's no rush. There was never any rush to use Weddle. Normally, you hit grade 3, and that's when you use Weddle because you start building up pressure with setups and everything, and returning cards to hand. So yeah, that's why I have this card as a starter. Koro's just not that good. A lot of people, I know there are deck profiles on YouTube that people use Koro, but a lot of people in my area, some of my friends' areas, they're like, Koro's not good. She's just not a great starter. There are better choices, right? And normally Weddle is the choice, so Akari. Why not? Anyways, we're on to grade 3. So we have 4 PRISM-Promise Labrador. So what she does is Limit Break 4. Limit Break 4. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may choose up to 3 cards with Prism in its card name from your hand and call them to separate open rearguard circles. If you called 3 cards, this unit gets power plus 10,000 and crit plus 1 until end of the battle. And our other skill is kind of last one, Prism. Choose one of your rear guards with Prism in its card name and return it to your hand. So pretty solid. She helps herself, you know, set up with that. Oops, my bad. Help set up with like the counterblast and everything. But she's just a really strong card on, you know, making big plays and getting more attacks and all that, and getting her power to a little crazy. With an extra crit. So, you know, just a very solid card. Unfortunately, there's only 2 Prism cards, but yeah. And then we have 4 Prism-Image Vert. So, you know, if you get the break ride on top of her early on, yay, because that's extra pluses and extra setups. If not, not a huge deal, but she's definitely your aim at first because you want to try to, you know, get some extra cards and extra setups with her. So yeah, 4 of her. And then moving on to great. So we have 4 of the 12k beater Prism Lumiere. So yeah, if you have a card with Prism in his card name, she's a 12k beater. Easy peasy. And then we have 4 of a new card, Prism-Promise Princess Celtic. What she does is counterblast 1 Prism. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your other rearguards and return it to your hand. If you return a unit this way, draw a card. So she helps you. She's a really, really great card. Helps you pressure and everything. And, you know, if you hit, you get to return the card to hand for some setups and power-ups and such, and you get to draw a card. So she's really nice because you get that extra draw. I remember when Perla was the big thing because you get to return a card to hand, and you had to use Perla to combo with her to get the extra draw, but now it's just all in one card. So really, really good card. And then we have 3 Prism-Promise Celtic. So, you know, you Soul Blast 1. When it's returned, you give something 4,000. So really good card to just help give power-ups and everything. Very, very strong card for that. Yeah, I was thinking of actually playing 4 of her, but I can't find the room to do so. So unfortunately, because, you know, yeah. Anyways, moving on to our grade 1s. So we have 4 Image Master Kurukuri. Your damage on flipping Perfect Guard. You do counterblast. You do have quite a few counterblasts, so damage on flipper Perfect Guard, pretty simple. And then we have 3 Persevering Talent Shandee. So your Stride Enabler. Just 3 of them because there are other cards you need to play in the deck that are very important and such. So you can only run 3 of these, which isn't a huge deal. It's only 1 less. I'd like to run 4 of these, but yeah. And then we have 3 Prism-Duo Loretta. So she's your Limit Break Enabler. Limit Break active no matter what when she's on the rearguard circle. So very easy to just quickly break ride or anything like that. And then we have 2 Prism-Promise Princess Leyte, another new card. What it does is when this unit is returned to your hand from rearguard circle, if you have a Vanguard with Prism in its card name, unflip 1, soul charge 1, choose one of your other units, and it gets power plus 4,000 until end of turn, and you can't normal call Prism-Promise Leyte for the rest of the turn. And yeah, you may call this card by the effects of cards, though. So, you could still get her back to the field, back on your field with other cards and skills that call cards, which is, you know, really big in this deck. So she can be called back to the deck, and the next turn you can return her to the hand with the same way, and given a unit again another 4,000. She's a really strong card, though. I only have 2 of her. I'd like to fit 3. It's too much. But I'd like to fit 3 of her in the deck. I cannot. There is a way to, but I'm not sure if it's a good idea or not. So only need 2 of her, especially because you do have Celtic as well, and she does unflip this. Leyte does unflip damage, but it's not huge, especially with the damage on flippers. So you only need 2 of her. Yeah. Like, if you were to play another card, probably add another Celtic then, if I removed another card. But and then we have 2 Prism-Duo Yarmouk. What she does is when another Bermuda Triangle you have returned to hand from your rearguard circle, this unit gets power plus 3,000 until end of turn. So she can really rack up on damage, especially with Labrador returning, I believe, 3 cards to hand. So she'll gain an extra 9k, making her a 15k booster, and then you'll probably slap on her, you know, Celtic and Leyte's skills. Normally you will slap it on her because it'll add up to the mark you want. Most of the cards won't be able to add up to, you know, the 21k mark. It'll normally add up to like 20k. So normally you'll have one powered up column, and it'll be with her. And she's a very important card though, so you want to play two of her. And yeah, with all the grade ones we have, there's really no room to play anything else. Like, if there's certain stuff you don't want to play, that's fine, but all these grade ones are very, very important, and they all have their jobs, and yeah. Bermuda's is one of those decks you normally play multiple grade ones, from what I've found from playing with the clan multiple times and building decks for them. So yeah, very solid lineup, grade 1 lineup, and very strong. Moving on to our triggers, we have 4 Prism Canary and 4 Gunslinger Star Florida, so 8 crit, and then 4 Prism Etoile, 4 draw, and then 4 Prism-Miracle Timor, 4 heal. So, you know, this isn't a super crazy draw deck. It's more pressure than draw. So 8 crit, 4 draw, 4 heal. Standard trigger lineup is more suitable for this type of deck. And now let's move on to our stride units. The final frontier. I don't know what I'm talking about. So we have 4 PRISM-Promise Princess Labrador. Very good card. What she does is choose a face-down card named PRISM-Promise Princess Labrador from your G zone and turn it face up. If you have a fart card, okay. If you have a heart card with Prism in its name, choose up to 2 of your rear guards, and until end of turn they get power plus 5,000 and auto rear guard when this unit attacks or boosts at the end of the battle. You may return this card to your hand. So very to give powers to back rows. So you can return them to your hand and reset up. And even if it's someone like Leyte, if Leyte's column attacks first, you know, you could return it to hand, give the power to Yarmouk, and Yarmouk can just get an extra 3 and then also get the extra 4 on top of having the extra 5 from Labrador. So normally your columns are like Leyte's in one rear guard, and or behind your Vanguard, and the Limit Break Removers in the other spot, whereas Yarmouk is definitely has to be behind the rear guard. So that's normally your back row column, but it works really beautifully and just incredible power and combo potential with them. And then we have 2 school Etoile Olyvia. So I've already explained her, and yeah, she's just really good in the deck because she helps bring on extra pressure, and especially, you know, when you can't use Labrador anymore, when you hit a certain amount of damage, because I believe Labrador you don't need a certain amount. Yeah, you just need a heart card with Prism. So you basically use Labrador right away, and you can use Olyvia later for, you know, extra pressure and everything like that. She's a really good card to have. Only need 2 of her. Labrador works in the deck a little bit better. So you can run 4 Olyvia and 2 Labrador, because Labrador is normally what you ride first, and then stride first, and then you go into Olyvia. But it's up to you. I feel Labrador is a little bit better to help pressure for the deck, but Olyvia has her upsides to helping out with the deck. And then we have 1 legendary Prism Duo, Nectaria. What she does is when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, choose 1 of your rear guards and return it to your hand. If you have a card in your heart with Prism in its card name, choose a card from your hand and call it to rear guard, and that unit gets power plus 5,000 until end of turn. She's normally who you ride first, you know. She's kind of like the other card, except a better card if you have Prism or Duo, because she has a skill for Duo cards, which I will read if I do a Duo deck profile, because it doesn't matter here. It has no effect in this deck profile. But yeah, it just helps bring on extra pressure when you use her. She's normally, if you don't stride Labrador, you'll stride her. She's a pretty solid start too, and you only need 1 of her, no more than that. And then we have 1 legendary glass shoes, Amoris. So yeah, 1 of her. You don't use her overly often, as I said in the other deck profile, but she's really nice to have to get some setups if you really, really need it. So that's about it for this deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. Deck list will be in the description below as always. Let me know what you think, and that's about it. I'll see you guys next time. If you guys want to see more videos from me, on the left there are Let's Play videos, so you can go and check those out. And if you guys aren't up for that, on the right there are Cardfight Vanguard videos, so you can go and check that out. And if you're still not up for those, I have Super Smash Bros, Pokemon, and a Versus series on my channel, so you can go to my channel and check that out. Also, down below is my review channel, where I do reviews, countdowns, game chats, which is like a podcast, and more. And don't forget to check out my Twitter, Facebook, and Skype, all listed at the top there. That is all. Hope you guys enjoy.